for a change.
Hi guys, hi everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm joined by Red today. Unfortunately, Collins isn't very well, so no doubt we shall see him next week at some point. But Red and I wanted to do a few things today. I'm going to talk some numbers for you and give you some guesstimates. I think that's probably the best way of putting it. So first of all, I wanted to kind of look at the sort of figures that we expect or are expecting from things like video conferencing. Now, we know the market in 2021 was worth $6.28 billion. By 2030, it's estimated to be worth just under $20 billion. Okay, and statistics show that nearly 1 in 3 US citizens currently use a live video conferencing platform to chat, which I thought was amazing. So what is it worldwide? Good question. Nobody knows that one. But 36% of all employees now work remotely. So those 36% will undoubtedly have to use video conferencing, which is quite interesting. And did you know, by the way, that Zoom logs more than 300 million calls or meetings daily? Wow.
That's Loom.
Yeah. Wow. They reckon that 9 out of 10 companies with more than 10 employees use some form of video conferencing platform. Now, what does that say for us? I'm going to take it as if we're new to this. We're a newbie just starting. We've not got any customers, and we're looking to build an income. Now, I've mentioned this before on numerous occasions. I know that the average pension in the UK is less than £1,000 a month. So about $1,200 a month is about the average pension in the UK. That means there is an awful lot of people below that, believe it or not. Okay. The thing is, and Marty has been saying this as well, we have the capability when this goes back to market with a far superior product and a far more value for money product, where people are likely to flock towards using it if they're going to save money and get a better experience, that with 100 customers paying $100 a month, we know that the commission rate is 25%. Now, the first customer gets you your money back anyway, but 25%, let's just work on that. And as I said, these are guesstimates. So let's say, for argument's sake, that the cost for 100 customers is going to be $100 a month. That's roughly what we paid previously, a little bit more than that, but at the end of the day, figures are going to be changing slightly. But let's make it easy, $100 a month, and you've got 100 customers. That's $2,500 a month, which equates to around about £2,000 per month, which is twice the average pension in the UK. Twice. So how long would it take you to get your 100 customers? Well, you know, and Red knows, I'm an advocate for lists. I'm like I hate it because I'm like an accountant, you know, one of those anally retentive guys that's numbers, figures orientated, but I am. And there is a reason for that, because every single person knows or know of other people. And one comment that came up yesterday when I was with Comfort said that certainly in Africa, this is family and friends. 100 people is family and friends. So if you can find 100 customers, you've got yourself an income of $2,500 a month, because this becomes a regular scenario. Now, I'm not going to take into consideration at this point any other product that OnPassive brings out at this stage. I'm just concentrating on one. That's the video conferencing. So we look at that. What do you need in order to take on 100 customers? Well, I work on the basis, again, I'm going to turn around and go, look, 1 in 5 people that you talk to are probably going to say yes, and the other 4 are just going to say no. That's 20%. It's not very much. But it means that if you want 100 customers, you've got to have 500 people you can talk to. Now, again, I'm not taking into consideration what the company is likely to give to you. They may find you 20% or 30% of those customers, in which case you're well on your way. But let's say that you know 500 people. If you break that list down then into those that work for companies, those that run companies, those that have more than 10 employees, those that work remotely, those with family at university, etc. All of these things can be added to your list. Now, for those, again, this is a guesstimate, guys, so don't quote me on these figures, but let's say, for argument's sake, you're talking to somebody with kids at university. Isn't it easier to be able to do a video call with these so that you can actually clearly see them? But then hold on a second, you can turn this into your business, because if you then know 100 people and you can get an income, you can pay for their college fees. How about that? Think of that, did you? I'm going to hold off for a minute and I'm going to pass it across to Red, because I know Red's got some points here he'd like to add as well. Far away.
Yeah, thanks very much, Andy. Yeah, thank you. Before we do go into anything else, happy birthday to Gina Lever. She's normally on with us today on a Tuesday, and she's celebrating today. So we miss you today. Enjoy yourself, and we'll probably see you next week or very shortly on OP Digital Blueprints. Andy's got some really good points about figures. Now, he is a figures guy. Me, not so much. I look at things slightly differently, and my approach to any business has always been to know my business inside out and approach it from that angle when I'm talking to people. For me, having a good knowledge base of a business really is, for me, the way that I can portray and put my point across to individuals. Having a list, totally agree. It really does help you focus on how you approach people for what angle you're going to go in at. Now, as Andy's rightly said, the company are going to do some of this for us. But obviously, if we want to get on a lot faster, then guess what? We've got to roll our sleeves up and do our part. I'm certainly going to be doing that. And part of the knowledge base that you get is to really explore your own business. And I keep harping on about OnPassive being your business. It is. You know, this is the only level playing field business that I have seen in a very, very long time, where it doesn't matter when you come in, it doesn't matter how you've got in, as long as you are here, you have exactly the same opportunity as anybody else. There's no buying your way to the top or bringing a huge team with you that's going to impact stuff and all this sort of stuff. Everybody starts from the same place. We all have to come through a founder to get in, and they are the ones that are going to reap the rewards of their early bird belief in this business. And part of that means that the level playing field is up to us to leverage, to the best of our abilities. For me, that is knowledge. And this means looking at every nook and cranny. Now, the last couple of days, I've been going through the OES, and people have been sending me things that I might have missed. And sure enough, the lovely Pat parent sent me one and said, Red, I think the FAQs, which is the frequently asked questions, have changed. So I went nosing around. And when I first looked, I thought they haven't changed. There's only 5 or 6 there. But if you click on the very last FAQ in the section, and to access that section, you go into your ecosystem, OES, go to the top right-hand corner, and there's a drop-down box next to your name, a little arrow pointing down. Click that, and the second tab down is FAQs. So you click on FAQs, go to the very last one, and press the plus sign. Hey, presto, a whole plethora, which that's lots in English terms, of more FAQs come up. I counted over 50 different FAQs. The really interesting part of these FAQs that are new to me, and I'm sure they're new to a lot of people, is that there is questions and answers there that aren't relating to what we see right now in the ecosystem. That's got my little ticker going some. I'll tell you why. Because why put FAQs down there for things that are going to be related to products if those aren't coming shortly, if those aren't going to be part of it? What's the point of putting an FAQ in the OES if it has zero relevance whatsoever with any other products that are there? For instance, what is a funnel? What is A to B marketing? What is A to B testing? VPNs, all sorts of language like this, which we haven't heard of through the OES. This is why I'm sending people to there to explore it, to learn more about your business. And this, for me, is the angle I always use when I'm talking to people. You're going to say, why is that? Because when I talk to people about OnPassive or any other business I've had, I want to take it from an angle of, I know exactly what I am talking about. I want to come over professionally mannered. I want to be able to be that person that if anybody asks me anything, I can then come back with the correct answer. For instance, what Andy's doing right now, teaching us about the earning potential through the commercial basis on one product only, that is knowledge. That means that when somebody says, well, I'm looking at earning around about £2,000, £2,000 a month out of this, what do I have to do? Listening to what Andy said right now, you'll be able to go, you need to have around about 100 sales of commission-based sales of 25% on a $100 product to be able to cover that £2,000. It's $2,500. That will give you a monthly income of around about £2,000. Guess what that guy's going to think? He knows what he's talking about. This is a professional business. If he asks you about one of the products, can it do this? Has it got this capability? How many people can I bring in? How's this going to work? If you can come back with a professional answer straight away without going, well, I don't really know, but I'll get back to you, it certainly doesn't give the right impression that you are trying to give. This is where your knowledge of your business, for me, stands you head and shoulders apart from other people. This is where they want to have the product that you are talking about because you are making it sound to them that this is exactly what I need. I need this product because then I can leverage it the same as this guy is to give me an income by doing this, by doing what he's told me. I can do that as well. And if you can show this guy how easy it is to do, and also it's going to make him money, he's going to be in. This is where having this knowledge base, whether it's numbers, whether it's knowledge about your business, for me, is the number one thing for people to learn all about. Back to you, Andy.
Thanks, Red. And yes, happy birthday, Gene. I do apologise. I meant to start on that, and I got so ready to go. So let's look at the business side of things. What is it that we need to do? I love the phrase proper prior planning prevents poor performance. So if you're going to set yourself a target, you've got to know how to get to that target. So as I said, if you want to break it down into customers and each customer is going to give you $25 a month, based on a monthly product, bearing in mind there are others to come that may not be monthly, they may be annual or one-off or whatever. But let's work on the monthly based. So if you are after your $2,500 a month, you know you need 100 customers. Okay, so if I then sit down and work that out, as I've said to you before, I work on the basis of every 1 in 5 people that I speak to. But you may know lots of people, and most of those people may want this product. It might work out as 1 in 2. And one of the best things we ever learned when we were working hard in different locations was when you're speaking to a customer that's taken on board your product, the question is, they obviously like the product because they've moved across. Who else do you know that might want to take advantage of this product as well? Now, if you're talking to a company has no interest in building a business. They just simply want the product. And as Red has pointed out before, a large proportion of those that come on board are going to be just there for the products. They're not there to build a business. So this is a perfect question for you to ask. Who else do you know that might wish to take advantage of the same thing? Can I have their name and number? Now that was hard, wasn't it? But how many of us ask? Okay, so these are all little tips, if you like, that when we do get going, that you can use. And if you've come across a customer that is a corporation that has got, 100 employees that use this system, and believe you me, I know you all know people that work remotely. What's funny is I've come across a number of guys that have worked in the city in London for many years, and since COVID have been given the opportunity to work from home. So they are constantly on video meetings with 50 people or more. And I'm lucky enough to be able to put down in writing a list of at least 30 that I can think they will use this product. So I'm part way there, but I've done my prior planning. And this is the key. Don't leave it till the last minute. Get it ready, because once we do go, it's bang. Who do I talk to first? Here is some information for you. You've got to take a look at this. This will save you some money and is good value for money, blah, blah, blah. Yep. And you can sit and work out. Now, another thing is, we've all seen these AI chatbots. And by using ChatGPT, you can put together or ask I'll put the teeth back in, hold on. That's better. ChatGPT, what's a good sales line to offer to customers? And ChatGPT will write it out for you. So all you have to do is recite it. Now, okay, we're going down a different route, if you like, but these are just ideas for you to consider at a later date. For now, the best thing you can do is simply prioritize what you're going to need for when we do get ready. Now, I'm sure Red and I know I have, but I'm sure Red has as well. We've both set up companies to be able to put this business through the company. You don't necessarily have to do that, but it's worth having a 5-minute sit down with an accountant to give them an idea of what's coming and what the best option for you might be. Now, at the end of the day, if you do speak to an accountant, then now you've got a customer. Okay, you can do the same with a lawyer, because at the end of the day, a lot of the lawyers these days are doing video conferencing. So you sit down with a lawyer and say, look, I just need to understand what position I'm in as far as a will is concerned, because again, proper prior planning. If something were to happen to you, you want to make sure that this business can be passed on to the person that you want it to go to. And if you have a proper will in place, that's what's going to happen. But now I've got 2 customers. And all I'm doing at the moment is just asking for information. And it's not going to cost you anything because you can have a 10-minute sit down with a lawyer free of charge. So little ideas like this. So sit down, think about it, think about what you can do to make it easier for you when we do go. Back to you, Red.
Thanks very much. It's amazing, isn't it, when we start talking, how it really does ping your memory and sort of give you more to go with and ideas. And you mentioned about being a customer-based business, and this was the number one thing that I looked at this business all those years ago. Is it a customer-based business? Is it selling products? Tick both of those. Yes, it is. And the reason I was looking for this type of company online is because I'd had my fill of the empty promises, invest this, you get that back, and guess what? Everyone runs off your money. I wanted to have a very basic knowledge, which I knew of how it works from things that have gone by in my life. And that is, if you can sell something, you make a commission, you're making profit on the thing that you are selling. Guess what? We've got digital products and services. They have got no shelf life. You can resell them, and you can make a commission from them. And as Andy rightly said, it was the customer-based business part that, for me, really excited me. Why? Because that's recurring. That's what gives you the residual. Now, some people are going to drop off. Of course they are. And people move and all the rest of it. But think of it along these lines. How many of you out there right now, okay, pay for the minimum subscription package to Zoom, for instance? Is it half of you? I mean, I use the free one, but I bet you the large majority are using the smaller package for £15, $15 for Zoom to use that facility. I bet people are paying for telephone calls through the internet. I bet people are paying, like I have done, for loads of other things, for marketing material, for all sorts of subscriptions that I'm online using on a monthly basis. And this is going to be no different. We are producing digital products and services that people will want to use. They've got zero interest whatsoever of making money about it. I mean, I bet you, how many of you shop with Amazon? How many? All of you? 80% of you? But how many of you have looked at being an affiliate with Amazon? Yeah, it's possible. You can be an affiliate and be a reseller for products and services within the Amazon family, using your own website and putting the products on there, and you make a commission. But how many of you have realized that, and how many of you have thought about, oh, I could be a reseller of Amazon? Not many, I bet. And this is exactly the same of what I'm trying to tell you about OnPassive. Our products will be products that people will want to use, plain and simple. Why? They're better price tag on them. It's cheaper. It makes people's life easier. It's more cost effective for businesses, whichever angle, or because it is better for them in one way, shape or form, whether it's monetary, whether it's ease, whether it's organization, whatever you want to call it. And so people are going to use it because it makes their life easier. This is why when you're making your list and you're talking to people, you need to sort of get in your head, do I think this is a potential reseller affiliate, or is it a customer? Now, obviously, number one importance is to get them on board, to use the products, to use the services. My advice is get them on board as a customer, let them use the products and services. And then you can say, did you see that affiliate tab on your OES when you logged in? And they will say, yeah, I noticed that. What is it? Well, you can actually make some money yourself by reselling the products and services that you're already using. What do I have to do? Well, introduce other people to the OnPassive products and services, and you can make a commission. Simple as that. That's all you have to do. Nothing else. No, you already own the product because you're using it. All you have to do is click that button, agree to the NDA and the terms and condition, and you're off. You can make yourself some money as well on the side just by talking to a few people. That is, again, another angle that you can use as far as this business is concerned. It's endless, guys. It really is endless as far as where you take it. And it's up to you. Obviously, the company are going to do their part. They're going to do the follow-ups, and they're going to have the targeted traffic, and they're going to put people into organizations, etc. But we haven't got those details. But one thing we can take control of is what we do. For me, that's the important part. I am not relying on somebody else to build my business. If they help me, fantastic. I'm taking it in my control to do what I can with what I have. And that's what I intend to do. Back to you, Andy.
Thank you, Red. There was something you mentioned earlier on about easier. And I want to relate that actually to the business side of things. And I'm going to do a little comparison here, because most businesses require premises. Most businesses require stock. Most businesses, let's take Peter Rogers, good friend of ours. He has a convenience store, so he has to continuously buy stock, get new stock in each and every week. And it's a corner shop, but he still has an outgoing cost, which is considerable each and every month. Now, Pete is lucky enough to have built his business so that he has employees that work for him and help him with the business. So that's employees, employers' contribution, employees' contribution, payroll. All of these things have got to be done with the business. None of that with what we have. None of that. Because it's all taken care for us. None of this is needed. I don't need premises. I don't need staff. I don't need to buy stock and put it on the shelf. I buy it once, but because it's digital, it's continuously going off the shelf. I don't have to repurchase it all the time. So think of the two comparisons between the business that we have and the business that the likes of Pete has. Ours is very little upfront startup, whereas Pete's is considerable with the property he's had to get and all the stock he's had to buy first. You know, you're talking hundreds of thousands of pounds to do that. We don't have any of that, but I can still achieve an income of 2,500 a month by simply finding 100 customers. Wow. Okay. What's the catch? You go, what's the catch? Well, there is no catch, because at the end of the day, the object of the exercise is to be able to introduce others to a property that a product that's far superior and is value for money. So it's at a far lower cost. Now, that's not hard. It's not multi-level marketing, so you don't have to constantly recruit people or anything. We don't do any of that. What we do is we simply share the message out. Now, what could be easier as far as a business is concerned? I don't know of one, and I've looked for this sort of thing my entire career, because this is, in comparison to what I've done in the past, too easy in my mind. Anyway, any final comments you'd like to make, Red, before we close?
No, the only final comment really I've got very quickly is take this business seriously. There's an awful lot of people who are waiting and seeing, or who are, I'll do it when I need to, or, you know, they're not using this time that we have at the moment to the best of your ability. One thing it will do, it will help you stay positive. It will help you stay focused. And this really is where I want everyone to be. I don't want people having to catch up when we start again. I want people to be able to get their teeth into the business and start running with it. not having to do stuff that they could have done right now whilst we're in this waiting period. As always, guys, keep logging into your ecosystems on a daily basis. Pop by on a Tuesday to see me and Andy here and the various lives that go out on a daily basis. And you will certainly not be left behind. Utilize what we have. Back to you.
Thanks, Fred. Thanks. I've got food for thought for you people. We know Ash has taken on a considerable number of additional staff now, having got rid of the idiots. Tell me, why have they come to join such a company? They must know something that we don't, because they know of what's gone on. Now, I'll tell you what, that excites me more than anything else, and I can't wait for this to launch. So thanks for joining us. I'll see you next Tuesday, but obviously we've got Sunday and all the various others that Red has mentioned. So see you soon, guys. Thanks for joining us.